Bahamians are being encouraged to get involved in fishing and farming in an overall view of growing our agriculture industry, putting the Bahamas in a better position to not only feed ourselves, but create a sustainable food chain of produce for export. Hello, I'm Carla Palmer. In the next episode of Agriculture Now, we'll explore the potential of the fisheries sector. Join me on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
Together, they engage in a range of activities which may seem simple, but have the potential to give Sophronia the head start she needs.
In terms of this program, yes, it's going on in some islands across the Caribbean, but on the wider level, clearly, how important is that whole issue of the early childhood development?
Meanwhile, Bahamian Shanae Miller-Ubu broke a 16-year-old Commonwealth Games record as she clinched gold in the women's 200 meters final.
When a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, it's extremely important to be prepared and know just what to do. Stay informed about the storm's path by listening to the radio or television for hurricane progress reports. Check emergency food and household supplies. Be sure you have extra batteries for your flashlights and radios. Bring in outdoor things like lawn furniture and garden tools. Anchor objects that cannot be brought inside. Secure buildings by closing and boarding up windows. Remove outside antennas and satellite dishes. Turn refrigerators and freezers to the coldest settings. Open only when absolutely necessary and close quickly. Purchase ice and store it in an ice chest. Keep drinking water in clean jugs and bottles. Clean your bathtub with bleach and fill it with water for washing and flushing, not for drinking, making sure to keep the bathroom door closed so small children cannot access the filled tub. Do not go out to videotape or take photos of the storm. Stay inside and take those pictures from where it's safe and dry. There's no harm in being overly cautious where a hurricane is concerned. It is truly better to be safe than sorry. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kish Latterly, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Topping the news tonight, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis addressed the United Nations General Assembly today. He was among the lineup of world leaders addressing the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit during the 73rd General Assembly. R.L. Munnings is in New York and has details of the meeting, also headlined by an address from the U.S. President.
The Bahamas delegation attending the 73rd United Nations General Assembly got to an early start Monday morning. Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Darren Henfield, attended discussions led by the Committee on Foreign Relations, also known as COFCOR. Simultaneously, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis entered the United Nations Hall to attend a discussion led by United States President Donald Trump. Around 2:15 Monday afternoon, Prime Minister Minnis walked onto the United Nations stage to deliver his 3-minute address at the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit. He began his speech by thanking the United Nations for this opportunity.
Amidst the wars, conflicts, violence, injustice, hunger, and bitter hatreds which stalks the global commons, we find hope in the commemoration of the centenary of the birth of a noble soul whose witness to reconciliation and peace is an eternal wellspring for humanity. Peace and justice are as invisible as the bond of human dignity, which transcends race, creed, ethnicity, and every circumstance of birth amidst the exuberant diversity of humanity.
We'll share more details of the Prime Minister's address to the United Nations today in the National Report at 7. Reporting from the United Nations in New York City, I'm Altaviz Munnings for First at 6.
A suspect shot by police during a daring daylight robbery outside the Royal Bank of Canada's Prince Charles Drive branch this morning. Police say the incident unfolded when two men confronted a businessman who was making a deposit. Police Superintendent Shanton Knowles gives this update.
Came from a Toyota Passo that was parked near the bank. This man approached him in an aggressive manner and snatched from him a number of deposit bags. He got back into the vehicle along with another man who was driving, and as they were about to make their escape, they were approached by law enforcement officers from the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The driver of that vehicle attempted to knock the officers. He, being in fear for his life, pulled his service weapon, discharged it in their direction, hitting the driver. We know that the second man was able to get out of the vehicle and run into a residential area, made his escape. I can tell you that police have recovered a number of deposit bags, which we know to have been taken from the businessman. The man who was injured has been transported to hospital in stable condition.
A woman is hospitalized following a stabbing incident this morning. Police say shortly after 9 o'clock, the woman was at a bus stop on Farrington Road when a man approached her and stabbed her about the body before fleeing the scene. She was taken to hospital and is listed in stable condition tonight. Police say a short time later, the man turned himself in to authorities at the Central Detective Unit. An investigation is ongoing. Well, a 44-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man arraigned in the magistrate's court today in connection with a series of fraud charges. Fern Carey tells us that both of the defendants snared unsuspecting victims in two unrelated fraud schemes linked to two luxury resorts here in the capital.
20-year-old Latoya Seymour was arraigned before Magistrate Darren Roll Davis on a number of fraud by false pretenses charges. During the proceedings, Seymour admitted that she defrauded 15 people while posing as an employee of the Albany Resort and the Life at Key Club. The 44-year-old admitted that in executing the scheme, she showed purported photographs of expensive furniture and appliances from both properties to prospects, claiming she had first choice on the items and could get them before they went to auction. Court papers show that Sawyer then collected over $8,000 from the complainants on the pretense that she would provide the goods. However, when she failed to deliver, they contacted the police. When asked by the magistrate why she defrauded the complainants, Sawyer explained that she was desperate to pay off a very large bill. She also offered to pay the money back. However, the magistrate was not swayed, sentencing Sawyer to 2 years and 2 months behind bars. The second defendant, 20-year-old Nathan Bain, also pleaded guilty to similar charges in an unrelated fraud scheme. Court papers show that while posing as a recruitment officer for Bahama, Bain collected cash, Bahamian passports, and national insurance cards from some 6 people on the promise that he would get them jobs and uniforms at the mega resort. However, court records show that when the complainants showed up at Bahama for the interview, they were informed that Nathan Bain did not work there and the promised jobs were not available. In court, Bain, also known as Jason Cartwright and Jamal Davis, claimed that he was homeless at the time and was forced to participate in the scheme after being forced to do so by his brother. He also said he had handed all of the money and the identification documents to his brother, whom he claimed has since skipped town and is now in the United States. Before sentencing, Bain begged the court for leniency, saying he feared for his life in prison. The magistrate noted his concern. However, he sentenced Bain to 1 year in prison. Both defendants have a right to appeal. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Next year, all public schools are expected to become smart schools equipped with Wi-Fi. But what about the distraction the internet provides? We spoke with the Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, on the issue.
You know, we have now in schools, almost every school, restriction on cell use. Can't bring your cell to school and all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, man. We want you to bring your cell to school after we get this set up. Bring your cell to school. You won't be able to go anywhere except where we want you to go. And you will only have access to the program studies of the day in your respective class. That's it. You're not going to be floating through YouTube and looking at other things. No. You're going to be where we want you to be. The minute you hit in our orbit, and that is campus-wide. No problem.
Well, it will be a drastic move, but it's already begun in some quarters, the elimination of single-use plastics by 2020. Well, tomorrow, Bahamians will be given the opportunity to ask questions and give feedback on the issue during a town meeting. Environment Minister Romuald Ferreira noted the global effort to control pollution centers and protect our oceans.
More molecules of water in a glass of water than there are glasses of water on this planet. That means we are literally drinking the same water. And so this is about preservation of life itself and respecting the planet. So I can think of no better place to have our second town meeting to increase awareness on single-use plastics and their effects to the planet and our effort to ban them by 2020 than at Bahamas Faith Ministries, which will take place on September 25th at 6 p.m. I want to thank them for the use of their edifice, and I want to encourage all Bahamians to come out. This is a very important initiative, not for ourselves, it's for the children. It's for future generations coming up. And this is a part of our cleanup campaign. We need to control what goes into our landfill.
Well, after the town meeting, the campaign to ban the use of single-use plastics will then ramp up its campaign.
The next phase is we're also launching our increased public awareness campaign. So over the ensuing months, Bahamians can expect to see more advertising on social media, on billboards, in the print, on radio, on television, increasing awareness of littering, increasing awareness of having a clean environment.
Well, the Free National Movement has issued a statement on the success of Labor on the Blocks this weekend. Chairman Carl Culmer says Labor on the Blocks has delivered more than 1,200 job opportunities for Bahamians looking for meaningful employment, setting up the simple process to bringing companies and potential employees together. He says it's done more than the PLP has done during its 5 years in governance. He says the FNM believes in leading by example and living up to the commitments made to the people. He pointed out that Labor Minister Dion Folks and his department have proved what serving people is really all about. Well, condolences continue to pour in for Bahamian musical arts enthusiast Audrey Dean Wright. We'll have that story after the break.
You can't count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Driving on West Bay in rush hour? Hard. Getting a car to enjoy the ride? Easy. Carting the kids around after school? Hard. Getting a car to fit them all? Easy. Get an easy auto loan from Commonwealth Bank. Super low rates, fast 24-hour approval, no loan fee, and no payments for 2 months. So come to Commonwealth Bank and your next car is easy. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
Wicked geniuses are not limited by their budget. They eat the foods they crave because they've discovered the KFC Everyday Value menu. Be a wicked genius and enjoy a great everyday value option for as little as $2, $3, or $4, including VAT. Choose from the Colonel's fries, snack wraps, and famous bowls. Or try a one-piece chicken $5 fill-up for just $5, including VAT. Show your genius today at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Director of Labor John Pinder addressing the government's jobs program. He wants to effect a more comprehensive plan to ensure that participants of the program are acquiring the knowledge they need to do the job.
Work with the government to ensure that these 52-week program persons are placed in a position where they are training and learning something. For example, if we had to send persons to do welding and learn how to do welding from a Quality Service Limited or even the shipyard, that part of their salary comes from the government through the 52-week program, and the rest will come from the employer who they're actually performing these tasks for. That's one way of addressing it. I think the Prime Minister mentioned that, but that's something that needs to be implemented. Again, the understudy is the most important thing, where employers are supposed to identify a behavior to understudy somebody who's on a work permit.
Well, the summer months may be winding down, but the Parks and Beaches Authority remains committed to clean and safe beaches nationwide. Some new equipment was purchased recently to enhance the beaches. Chairman of the authority, Shannon Dawn Cartwright, says very soon additional security measures will be put in place at local beaches.
Our lifeguard program, it's a very important program. We are working diligently as we speak to strengthen the lifeguard program, and so very shortly you're going to be seeing additional lifeguards on the beaches, particularly during the holiday weekends and just on a regular basis, because we know how important it is for Bahamians to enjoy the beaching experience.
Now, according to Cartwright, the new equipment, which is now being used to clean up the beaches, will also impact the #1 industry.
Well, we know how important tourism is to the economy of the Bahamas, how important tourism is to the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and definitely we're selling ourselves in terms of a tourism product, the best beaches in the world, and this gives us the ability to really deposit on that promotion that we put out there to people around the world.
Well, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, among those giving condolences today on the passing of Mrs. Audrey Dean Wright following a long illness. Mrs. Wright was the spouse of former Foreign Service officer and ambassador of the Bahamas to the Republic of Cuba, Mr. Carlton Wright. A cultural and musical icon and teacher, Mrs. Wright contributed significantly to the cultural development of the country, especially to the youth of this country, and will be missed. Her legacy will remain, the statement said. Mrs. Wright also played an integral role, along with her husband, in setting up the embassies of the Bahamas in Haiti and Cuba. On behalf of the minister, according to the statement, the Honorable Darren Henfield and the entire staff of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its overseas missions, heartfelt condolences are being extended to Mr. Wright, the children, and the family of Mrs. Wright during this most difficult time. May she rest in eternal peace. Condolences also coming in from the South Bahamas Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. She was also a professor, the director of the College of the Bahamas Choir, now the University of the Bahamas. The 68-year-old died peacefully at her home on Sunday. She was the sister of the late Patricia Bazard, who you may recall passed away last Christmas Day, and she was also a professor at the University of the Bahamas. We'll stay with us. Sports News is up next.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
Casablanca. Come into our showroom today and check out our sleek new line of Casablanca all-white, modern, stylish cabinets for your kitchen. And all during the month of September, get 20% off Casablanca all-white kitchen cabinets with soft closing drawers and doors. Available only at Connet Nassau and Abaco locations. For more information, call 394-5865. Casablanca.
What if you looked in the mirror and saw something different? A small difference, a big difference. What if that difference changed your life forever? What if it caused you to question your beauty? Your body may change, a small change, a big change, but your life is defined by your interior, not your exterior. I felt, I called, I tested, I acted. I won. I am the cure, a living story of survival. Be the cure. Live the life you love and love the life you live. At 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center, your life matters.
You can't count on me. Just call me and I'll come running, running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Softball Association's best of 7 championships back on the diamond over the weekend. In men's play, Alcott Forbes once again doing it on the mound and at the plate for the defending champion CNS Hitmen. Forbes hit a big solo home run to put away Game 4, and the Hitmen now hold a commanding 3-1 lead on the Commando Security Truckers as they look to close out the series come tomorrow night. The situation much the same on the ladies' side. The Johnson Truckers also in a must-win situation come tomorrow night after the defending champion Sunshine Oil Wildcats took Game 4 on Saturday to claim a 3-1 series lead. The B3A is announcing over the weekend that Mae Miller has been selected as its interim CEO. She will oversee the association's elections on November 24th. Also appointed with 3 assistants, Tony Williams, Philippa Arnett-Willie, and Winston Marshall. 2 matches on court yesterday in the Providence Volleyball Association. Up first in ladies play, the Johnson Truckers downing the University of the Bahamas Mingos in 3 sets, 25-9, 25-13, and 25-20. As for the men, the Warhawks and Technicians needed 5 sets to determine a winner. In the end, it would be the Technicians coming from 2 sets down to pull it off, 22-25, 23-25, 25-20, 27-25, and 15-9. NBA training camps opening this week. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings holding media day today with camp opening tomorrow. The same goes for #1 pick in this year's draft, DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns. The two will hook in the opening night of preseason, October 1st in the desert. The Kings and Suns also square off against each other 4 times during the regular season. The Government League Basketball Playoffs tipping off tonight at the AF Valley Gym. Up first at 7, the pennant-winning and undefeated Panthers taking on the 8th-seeded Airport Authority Avengers. That's followed by the 4 versus 5 matchup, the Defense Force Mariners up against the Aces. From tennis, Kevin Major Jr. playing in California at the Los Cabos Men's Futures Tournament. He won his first 2 qualifying matches, 6-1 and 2 over Skylar Bettis from Austria and 6-4, 7-6 over American Diego Nava. Now one more win and Major will advance to the main draw. Archery continuing to push forward here in the 242, and an offer is currently on the table for a group of Bahamians to attend a training camp in Chula Vista, California.
That's where the U.S. Olympic team trains, and there'll be archers from all over the world there. That's a very good opportunity for us. So we're hoping to make these things. Now, obviously, that's a lot of traveling and that's a lot of expense. So we're hoping that Corporate Bahamas and Ministries of Sports and Bahamas Olympic Committee will continue to support us so that we can put forward our best foot.
That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we're taking a shot at our rooftop camera, and we can see the Paradise Island Bridge there, and there's still some cloudiness hanging around after some heavy rains that fell over parts of New Providence this afternoon. And taking a look at our satellite picture, you can see that low pressure to the northeast of the Bahamas with that trailing trough right across the northwest Bahamas. That is what was responsible for those rains that we got this afternoon, and we will have a little bit more in the forecast, so do stay tuned. Outside of our studios, cloudy skies, temperatures 79 degrees, relative humidity at 88%, south-southwest winds at 7 miles per hour, barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars, that's 29.97 inches, and it is steady. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned, more weather is still to come.
Thanks a lot, Basil. That does it for us at First at 6. Stay tuned, though. The Northern Edition is up next, and we'll see you back here at 7.
allegations of misappropriation of funds. A hefty sentence handed down to one of the men accused of killing Barry and Sheena Johnson. And a youth leadership program launched.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Good evening, all. I'm Shoshana Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the Deputy Director of Urban Renewal on Grand Bahama is responding to widespread social media reports accusing her of misappropriation of government funds. She's taking exception to the charges, calling it a smear campaign, and is threatening legal action. Sabrina Brown has her story tonight.
Presented against me. I call for the persons involved to substantiate their allegations and provide proof of claim.
Deputy Director of Urban Renewal on Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Jasmine Darius, refuting allegations that she misappropriated funds from that ministry. She says since taking office in October of last year, she has and continues to operate under a system of transparency and accountability.
Every activity, every function, every operation that we've carried out, we are mandated to produce reports, records, and receipts. Let the record reflect. We account for every dime, every dollar that is spent in urban renewal, every last one. There are no checks that are produced from Urban Renewal Grand Bahamas office. There's no contract that is originated from Urban Renewal Grand Bahamas office. All checks, all contracts, they are processed, payment, salary from the head office in New Providence. We don't have a credit card. We don't produce funds from this office. There's no cash. There's no bank account in Grand Bahama. Urban Renewal Grand Bahama, from I took over, has never had, as a matter of fact, a budget.
Senator Darius says the situation is disheartening, and she says she is prepared to take legal action.
I have already instructed my counsel to put in a defamation of character writ, and we are prepared to take this to the fullest extent of the law.
She says she is a woman of credibility and integrity, and she believes the accusations were spewed by jealousy and hatred. She says it is troubling that some people will go to any extent to smear one's character.
The Bible says a good name is better to be chosen than great riches. I have been a pastor in the Grand Bahamian community for over 10 years. I've been in the community conducting empowerment sessions for women, back to school events for the past 6 years. We've been feeding in the Garden Villas areas. We have food programs that are regularly run. I have been in this community, and I am known in this community as a credible and an integral woman. I came into politics with my name and my integrity intact. And when I leave, I will leave with my name and my integrity intact.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Now to news from the court, where one of the men convicted of the 2015 murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson learned his fate today. After giving her summation to the court, the presiding judge handed down a heavy sentence. Italia Hall was there.
Armed police officers surrounded the court as the young man convicted of the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson, 25-year-old Devon Hall, walked into the Supreme Court. Justice Estelle Gray Evans listed Hall's charges, 2 counts of murder and 1 count of armed robbery. She also shared some of the evidence that was presented in court during the trial, from the surveillance video to some of the testimonies provided by Alan Alsame and Virgil Hall, who turned Crown and is now serving time behind bars for armed robbery. Justice Gray Evans noting that the death penalty was requested by the prosecution and explained the laws related to the penalty. She also referred to several other cases. The presiding judge then moved on to Hall's psychiatric report, where he admitted to smoking marijuana and drinking occasionally, but was cooperative. According to the report by Dr. Dillett, Hall is not remorseful and he denies any involvement in the crime, but it does not mean that he will not be remorseful as time goes on. Justice Gray Evans also read Hall's probation report, noting that he was not convicted of any crimes before. He was an employee at the Grand Bahama shipyard, making over $500 per week during the time of the incident, and has 2 young children, ages 2 and 4. She also read reports given by Hall's family and from the deceased. Justice Gray Evans rejected the request for the death penalty, noting that although the crime was horrific, it was not the worst of the worst when compared to other cases. Devon Hall was sentenced to 120 years for the murder of Barry and Sheena Johnson. He was also sentenced to 25 years for the armed robbery, which will run concurrently, and the time spent in prison already by Hall will be deducted. As Hall walked out of the court, family members of the deceased couple could be heard sobbing. Family members of Barry and Sheena Johnson say they feel a sense of closure, but they wanted more.
It's still a long healing process, but at least we have some closure. It's been this past 3 years, it's been very hard. Then dealing with a 1-year trial, it's been rough on both the parents. On both the mothers. It isn't an easy task.
I thought he should get the death penalty for killing those 2 people terrible as he did. He has 2 children. I will never have. I never said I thought the planet to have a child. And he take that away from me, and I'm so sorry. I wish he could get the death penalty because he went in their home.
Representative for Devon Hall, attorney Jacqueline Barrows, declined an interview. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Now, as for the other men involved in the crime, Paul Belazaire, he was found guilty on the armed robbery charge in May of this year and was sentenced to 25 years. But there was a hung jury when it came to the murder of the couple as it relates to Kevin Dames. There was a hung jury on all 3 of the counts, and he is currently out on bail. In other news, the father of a young man who was killed in a recent traffic accident is on a crusade to change the traffic laws in the country. As Jay Philippe tells us, he has taken the petition to the schools.
Activist Troy Garvey continues his campaign of justice for his son Trey Garvey, who was killed in a hit-and-run accident in July. He is now on a journey to educate kids on vehicular laws of the country. His latest stop, the 8 Mile Rock High School.
The only laws that sit on the books now is killing in the cause of dangerous driving, which gives only a 3 to 4 year maximum sentence if found guilty. Our plight right now is to amend the law to include vehicular homicide and vehicular manslaughter.
Troy Garvey also sharing the overall objective of the tribute and his aim to spread the word as it relates to current traffic laws in our country.
We look at the laws only when something happened to us. So now it is my time to educate the people as to how our laws are situated in this particular sense. And as we go through the law fighting this, we are finding out that there are other antiquated laws that has not been amended for the period of the inception of independence in our country.
The activist says every road user should be aware of traffic laws in the event you are faced with similar incidents.
We're raising the funds for the tribute in order to move through the country, get to Nassau, table the legislation, table it to the House of Parliament, present it to the House of Parliament for them to table it so that they can understand what we're trying to do to update and upgrade the laws of the country. In this particular case, vehicular homicide and vehicular manslaughter.
Troy Garvey says he will continue to make public appearances throughout the island of Grand Bahama with hopes of educating the wider community on vehicular traffic laws. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you, Jay. Switching gears now, the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture focusing on youth development. The ministry launching a leadership program to build youth mentors on Grand Bahama. Ramiko Knowles has this report.
The first session commencing at the C.A. Smith building with guest speaker of Freeport Bible Church, Pastor Kyle Maycock. Pastor Maycock using his experience as a young pastor to demonstrate the importance of good leadership.
David led his generation with 2 things: integrity of heart and skillful hands. David was the kind of leader in his generation, and he was a young leader. He was the kind of leader he was in his generation, and God used him to impact an entire generation because of these two things: character and competence. That is the contribution. That is the most valuable part of what we do.
The Freeport Bible pastor also advising attendees on the value of youth ministry. He says that we live in a time when young persons are suspicious of leadership.
If we could communicate to them that first, that we love God so much, that we're willing to give ourselves to God first and to them second, we've already broken down this barrier that culture has put up. We are breaking down this barrier that sometimes their homes has put up. When we manage or when we attempt to minister to young people and they kick back, and you know, some of them are rebellious, we have to realize that they're not always rebelling against us, you know. Sometimes they're rebelling against what we represent.
Youth pastor of Agapeos Ministries, Pasman Sutherland, says that youth development training is vital. He adds that many persons serving in the capacity of youth advocates possess zeal and talent, but lack the skills and training.
We've seen where persons who are passionate about serving young people, whether it's again in ministry, soccer coaches, people that serve in any area, because of the lack of training, sometimes we end up doing a whole lot more damage than we do as far as impacting. Small stuff from the way we communicate to the way we deal with crisis and youth in this country.
The course will be executed over a 15-week period and thereafter will be conducted every Tuesday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in Freeport and in the community of 8 Mile Rock on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Ramiko Knowles.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to come on down. Now to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. They're loaded with indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, landscaping plants, flowering plants, herbs, and more. At the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. And if you need advice, the friendly, courteous staff at Dolly Madison is there to assist. And don't forget to pick up your soil, fertilizers, and other accessories. Don't worry. Come on down.
For family, any family, there's nothing more important than a home. Becoming a landowner, you're now one step closer to those dreams coming true. Land opportunities with funding solutions by DEFCO. Developing and expanding the vision by creating ownership for you. Whether you're a first-time buyer or an experienced developer, you can buy now. DEFCO, where opportunities embrace ownership.
The Awards and Science Center has everything you need to help you give that special someone the most amazing personalized creative gift. One-of-a-kind floral arrangements to brighten someone's day. Recognition awards ranging from plaques to trophies. And yes, even tombstones to memorialize your loved ones. Visit the Awards and Science Center and be dazzled by our vast, beautiful array of supplies on West Atlanta Drive. The Awards and Science Center.
Where do you go when you're looking for low prices and quality meats? You go to Mulligan's Meats and Spices, KMW Plaza, or Mulligan's Meat and Spices at the rear of the Britannia Mall on Luna Boulevard. New things are happening at Mulligan's Meats. They have everyday low prices on groceries, frozen foods, produce, dairy, health, and beauty care. Visit their meat department where beef, chicken, turkey, and mutton are cut right before your eyes. Mulligan's has everything you need, incredible service, and courteous staff. Mulligan's providing quality products at great prices.
Business owners are excited about ZNS Northern Service Storm Central Hurricane Packages because advertising rates are discounted up to 50%. That's right, get 50% off advertising packages this hurricane season from now through November 30th. Call our sales department at 351-3430 or 352-9713 and book your advertising package today.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The 33rd annual Coastal Cleanup, dubbed a success, students and volunteers throughout the island coming together this past weekend to tackle the growing threat of trash in our oceans. Megan Shepard has the report.
Beach and Williamstown Beach were just two of the locations targeted by the Ministry of Tourism throughout the island as students, teachers, and other concerned volunteers took on the task of removing trash from local beaches. Sustainable Tourism Senior Executive Jeffrey Pinder says that although numbers were a little low this year, the results were more on the positive side.
Garbage found along the coastline this year is significantly lower than it was last year. The final numbers are not in yet, but we know that Xanadu Beach was very filthy compared to this year. That is not the case right now.
Alpha Omega School turning out to do their part. Teacher Talmadge Ferguson Sr. and student Talmadge Ferguson Jr. say it was a great way to spend their Saturday morning making a difference.
We want to be out here because we want to be a part of bettering the community, keeping it clean. So just want to say that we are excited and we are glad to be a part of this.
We had an awesome day today. We pick up a bunch of materials we use for everyday use, and we had a wonderful encounter with and interact with other people in different schools.
Teacher at St. Paul's Methodist College, Jeanette Austin, said that the cleanup is a great way for students to gain hands-on experience of the topics they learn in the classroom. Student Abigail Davis adds that their group found a lot of interesting litter.
It helps them more when they get to see a first-hand experience of what we're talking about in school. When they see exactly what it is, it helps them a lot with their various subjects that they have to write. And they also earn community hours too, so that makes them even more excited to come and do it.
We had from my group, I had 3 bags of garbage, and most of it were plastics, and I don't think plastic is really good for the environment.
Guidance counselor at Tabernacle, Pastor Wayne Carey, is admonishing residents to be more mindful as they utilize the beaches throughout the island.
You have Pampers, you have slippers, you have a lot of beer bottles. I mean, it's just there, so when you participate in it and see it, it's like, wow, it gives you a consciousness to see. It's like, hey, we're selling sand, beach, sun, and all the things of that nature what we sell as a tourism destination. We have to definitely take more initiative in terms of keeping our beaches clean.
Now all participants were treated to a fun day at the Gumbe Line skating rink following the cleanup exercise. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Hutchison Ports Freeport Container Port celebrating its 5th Go Green initiative. This time, mobile phones were the focus as participants recycled the items for the good of the environment. The company's 3 business units, Hutchison Ports Freeport Container Port, Freeport Harbor Company, and the Grand Bahama Airport Company, partnered with Gizmos and Gadgets, which served as a mobile phone recycling center to ensure success in the venture. The initiative served to remind those involved of the importance of recycling. It also highlighted the fact that mobile phones are also recyclable, something that many consumers seem to forget. And finally, in news this evening, Calvary Temple's 15 out of 50 celebrations kicking off tonight at the church on Clive Avenue. The festivities in honor of the church's 50th anniversary on Grand Bahama will feature a number of former pastors who will return to join in the celebration.
Lead Calvary Temple over the years, and most of the pastors that are still with us here in the Bahamas and still active in ministry are going to come back and share with us. Of course, on Monday night, we're going to have our Bishop Soby Kemp, who pastored Calvary Temple for 14 years. We're also going to have on Tuesday our Bishop Jonathan Carey, who have a minister developed here in the church, and have also pastored here at Calvary Temple for about a year and a half. And then also we're going to have our Bishop Cardinal McIntosh, who would have served as head deacon and interim minister here at Calvary Temple for a period of time. And then, of course, we're going to have one that we refer to as the father of this church, our Pastor Ernie DeLoach, who, of course, served Calvary Temple for 7 years and really is responsible for much of what we are today.
Well, a banquet will be held at the Grand Lucine Hotel in the ballroom this Saturday. Youth Pastor Bruce Russell says he's very excited about honoring the current leaders of the church on their 15th pastoral anniversary. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
QW asks this question: can using weight loss products lead to eating disorders? Eating disorders often develop in the teen and young adult years, although they can develop at other ages. Symptoms vary depending on the type. Anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder are the most common types. Today we'll discuss anorexia, which is a potentially life-threatening eating disorder characterized by an abnormally low body weight, intense fear of gaining weight, and a distorted perception of weight or shape. People with anorexia use extreme efforts to control their weight and shape, which often significantly interferes with their health and life activities. When you have anorexia, you excessively limit your calories or use other methods to lose weight, such as excessive exercise, using laxatives or diet aids, or vomiting after eating. If you're severely underweight or malnourished, hospitalization may be necessary, particularly if there are complications from the eating disorder that affect the major organs of the body, like your heart, liver, and brain. Long-term treatment involves therapy, medications, and other treatments that help to control obsessions and urges relating to food and that control depression and anxiety. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Stay with us. A check on sports is up next with Ramiko Knowles.
Get 40% off now through the end of September at Modiva's Beauty Zone in the Britannia Mini Mall.
Everywhere you go, they'll just talk about box. Man, I need a break. You know what? I'm going to watch some of those Dolphins rerun. I love to watch the Dolphins get beat. Watching Marlon hit about 4 home runs on it.
It's amazing you mentioned home run, because here at Island Bedding, we have a Grand Slam special going on right now. All bases are loaded, up to $500 in savings on beds and bedroom sets. We're bringing it home to you, Dr. Love.
It's time to win at Island Bedding, the experts in comfort.
When you're eating on a budget, it's
KFC's Genius Menu. A one-piece leg or wing meal, fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce drink for $4.99. A two-piece thigh and leg meal, 1 biscuit and a 16-ounce drink for $5.99. And KFC's Mini Famous Bowl, leg or wing, and a 16-ounce drink for $4.68.
Available only on
KFC's Genius Menu at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Genius. This portion of the news is brought to you by Gold Rock Concrete, now manufacturing 4, 6, and 8-inch concrete blocks and ready-mix concrete. Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered.
ZNS Total Sports, bringing you excitement, entertainment, energy, pure sports.
We're keeping you updated on all the sports happening in the Northern Bahamas, whether it's soccer
or even the latest results with American football or flag football.
Covering baseball, softball, you name it, we'll cover it.
Good evening, all. Welcome to another edition of Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports this evening, the Grand Bahama Tennis Association now in their final week of the tennis program at the YMCA. Natishka Barrett says this program exists to promote the sport of tennis in Grand Bahama, as it is her hope that more parents would get their kids involved.
We have extended an invitation to 3 schools, Walter Parker Primary, the Beacon School, as well as Sunland School. And it's all about creating tennis awareness. So we have about 20 students today, and assisted by 2 coaches and about 7 volunteers. We try to rotate the schools, so we always extend invitations to other schools in Grand Bahama, and we're always grateful when the administrators work with us and send out the invites to the parents and to the kids.
The tennis director says that the students learned a number of tennis techniques during the course of the program.
The forehand primarily, as well as the backhand, how to keep the ball in play, some rallying, as well as good sportsmanship. So, and we teach them a little bit about fitness because typically they begin with fitness routines as well. Every week that we've held the program, the children always say that they had lots of fun. And we've noticed that since last week, we have a greater number of kids this week. And so they're really having a good time. And we're having a good time assisting them as well.
Now the program closes out on September 29th. Next on the agenda for the Tennis Association is the Focal Junior Nationals Tournament at the YMCA Tennis Facilities. The tournament will commence Thursday, October 25th and closes out with an awards presentation October 28th. The deadline for entries is October 19th. Grand Bahama Golf Play in the Grand Lucine Reef Golf Course Saturday. O.J. Cooper rocked the field with a net 65 score. Hanford Bain gave chase with a net 69. Kenny Baston with a 70 and Kevin Baston with a net 74. On Sunday, Tony Cooper took top honors with a net 69. Greg Cooper a net 70 as Paul Bowe and Jensen Cooper both turned in a net 72. The Rubiles walkers also in the links at the Fortune Hills Golf Course. Freddie Boogie Bowe beat out the field with a 1/37. Pro E. Marcus Hill was a one shot back at 38. Dr. Leon shot a 42 and got 4 shots from the pro that gave him a 38 score. Hanford Bain still sits in the driver's seat with 63 points. Fenton Skilled Russell 53 and the Pro E. Marcus Hill 50 points. That's your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
KMW Battery and Tire Sales is offering oil change special for just $49.99 plus VAT. Includes oil and filter. KMW is located on West Settlers Way.
Hi, I'm Olympia Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. On Grand Bahama, there are only 2 types of homes, those with termites and those that will have termites. The signs you should look for are drywood termite fecal pellets, subterranean termite shelter tubes, and of course damaged wood. We now have on Grand Bahama the Coptotermes formosanus, or the super termite, which can do extreme damage in a very short period of time. To know more and to protect your investment, contact the termite experts at Budget Pest Control. With us, it's not just a company behind you, but a family. We are located on 13 Forest Avenue. Call us today at 351-7378.
Welcome to Sports 360 with Jay Fleet. We have live in studio today. It goes down to discipline, taking care of your body, knowing what you need to put into your body.
Well, I've got the national records in the 200, 400, 800 free. We've just got eyes on Tokyo 2020.
Hi, I'm Jay Philippe, and you can tune in every Monday at 12:30 p.m. talking sports.
Power 104.5 FM.
Pizza Hut's Back to School Special. Get a large 1-topping pizza, 5 cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink for just $19.99. That inclusive at Pizza Hut downtown and Sunrise Highway. The perfect meal at the perfect time. Pizza Hut's Back to School Special. A large 1-topping pizza, cheesy breadsticks, and a 2-liter drink, just $19.99. Or get 2 medium 2-topping pizzas with any crust, any day, just $8.99 each. For the love of pizza. Pizza Hut.
Our customers tell us every day, if you can't find it anywhere else, you can find it at Bullard's Plumbing and Supplies. Thousands of plumbing products, pipes, faucets, kitchen sinks, bathtubs, toilets, and more. Our licensed plumbers also specialize in repairs and installation on residential and commercial buildings. While you're there, check out Seasons Home Decor. We have something to suit every taste. Wall art, flowers, lamps, vases, decorative pieces, all at competitive prices. Located at West Atlantic Drive, telephone number 351-2900. Open Monday through Saturday. Bullard's Plumbing and Supplies, where professionals go to shop.
Grade 6 Prince, this one is for you, and that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Rolfe-Arkeson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, the National Report. The Prime Minister addresses the United Nations. Police shoot an armed robber. Ahead tonight, details of a bold, broad daylight heist. And a final note for a champion of the arts. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC every day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keishel Adderley, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Topping the news tonight, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis addressed the United Nations General Assembly today. He was among the lineup of world leaders addressing the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit during the 73rd General Assembly. Our Altaviz Munnings is in New York and has details of the meeting, also headlined by an address from the U.S. President.
Prime Minister Minnis began his first official day at the 73rd United Nations General Assembly by listening to an address delivered by United States President Donald Trump, who reiterated his country's foreign affairs policy. The address was made in front of hundreds of world leaders attending the assembly this week. Prime Minister Minnis walked onto the United Nations platform right around 2:15 Monday afternoon. He began his speech at the Nelson Mandela Peace Summit by thanking the United Nations for this opportunity.
Amidst the wars, conflicts, violence, injustice, hunger, and bitter hatreds which stalks the global commons, we find hope in the commemoration of the centenary of the birth of a noble soul whose witness to reconciliation and peace is an eternal wellspring for humanity. Peace and justice are as invisible as the bond of human dignity, which transcends race, creed, ethnicity, and every circumstance of birth amidst the exuberant diversity of humanity.
The Prime Minister then reminisced on the 1985 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting held in the Bahamas and hosted by the late Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinling, whom he described as a leading figure in the struggle for equality and majority rule.
The meeting produced the Commonwealth Agreement on South Africa, also known as the Nassau Accord. The Nassau Accord pressed for the then government of South Africa to enter into negotiations with the black majority to end apartheid. The accord also called on South Africa to end the occupation of Namibia. The struggle for peace and justice is universal. As we reflect on the centenary anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth and the 70th anniversary of the Declaration of Human Rights, the most enduring witness and testimony we may offer is the manner of courage of a man, of nobility and grace, who has prepared to give his life in the service of humanity. Madam President, I thank you.
The Prime Minister ended his first official day at the United Nations, accompanying several world leaders to a reception hosted by President of the United States, Donald Trump. Reporting from New York City, I'm Altaviz Munnings, ZNS Network News.
With doctors back to work after protesting a series of industrial issues last week, the Public Hospitals Authority's Managing Director, Catherine Weish, has given an update on ongoing talks. The Managing Director noted that discussions with the doctors were positive, but she concedes that financial concerns may be a challenge.
We've had meetings with the junior doctors in light of our efforts to continue to bring them to the table and to address the matters that affect both their concerns and the concerns of the PHA. Collaborative, engaging, and so we look forward to being able to continue to address their issues as we go forward. I'm not sure I can, but we will continue to work with them to present our position and allow the policymakers to guide us accordingly.
Well, the Managing Director also noted that the hospital administrator, Mary Walker, reported to work today after being suspended. As for physicians, now that the lines of communication are open, Weish is optimistic that no further protests will take place.
I hope that we would all see the value in coming to the table because I believe that they understand that they are valuable to our healthcare delivery system and that whatever progress we make, we must make as a team. And so we're happy, we're mindful of the fact that that would take place.
In other news tonight, a suspect shot by police during a daring daylight robbery outside of the Royal Bank of Canada's Prince Charles branch this morning. Police say the incident happened when two men confronted a businessman who was making a deposit. Police Superintendent Shanton Knowles gave these details.
A man who came from a Toyota Passo that was parked near the bank. This man approached him in an aggressive manner and snatched from him a number of deposit bags. He got back into the vehicle along with another man who was driving, and as they were about to make their escape, they were approached by law enforcement officers from the Bahamas Department of Corrections. The driver of that vehicle attempted to knock the officers. He, being in fear for his life, pulled his service weapon, discharged it in their direction, hitting the driver. We know that the second man was able to get out of the vehicle and run into a residential area, made good his escape. I can tell you that police have recovered a number of deposit bags, which we know to have been taken from the businessman. The man who was injured has been transported to hospital in stable condition.
Well, a woman is hospitalized following a stabbing incident this morning. Police say just after 9 o'clock, the woman was at a bus stop on Farrington Road when a man approached her and stabbed her about the body before fleeing the scene. She was taken to hospital and is listed in stable condition tonight. Police say a short time later, the suspect surrendered to police at the Central Detective Unit. Investigations are ongoing. A 44-year-old woman and a 20-year-old man appearing before a magistrate today in connection with a laundry list of fraud charges. Fern Carey tells us that both of the defendants snared unsuspecting victims in two unrelated fraud schemes.
44-year-old Latoya Seymour was arraigned before Magistrate Darren Roll Davis on a number of fraud by false pretenses charges. During the proceedings, Seymour admitted that she defrauded 15 people while posing as an employee of the Albany Resort and the Life at Key Club. The 44-year-old admitted that in executing the scheme, she showed purported photographs of expensive furniture and appliances from both properties to prospects, claiming she had first choice on the items and could get them before they went to auction. Court papers show that Sawyer then collected over $8,000 from the complainants on the pretense that she would provide the goods. However, when she failed to deliver, they contacted the police. When asked by the magistrate why she defrauded the complainants, Sawyer explained that she was desperate to pay off a very large bill. She also offered to pay the money back. However, the magistrate was not swayed, sentencing Sawyer to 2 years and 2 months behind bars. The second defendant, 20-year-old Nathan Bain, also pleaded guilty to similar charges in an unrelated fraud scheme. Court papers show that while posing as a recruitment officer for Bahama, Bain collected cash, Bahamian passports, and national insurance cards from some 6 people on the promise that he would get them jobs and uniforms at the mega resort. However, court records show that when the complainants showed up at Bahama for the interview, they were informed that Nathan Bain did not work there and the promised jobs were not available. In court, Bain, also known as Jason Cartwright and Jamal Davis, claimed that he was homeless at the time and was forced to participate in the scheme after being forced to do so by his brother. He also said he had handed all of the money and the identification documents to his brother, whom he claimed has since skipped town and is now in the United States. Before sentencing, Bain begged the court for leniency, saying he feared for his life in prison. The magistrate noted his concern. However, he sentenced Bain to 1 year in prison. Both defendants have a right to appeal. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
Well, still ahead tonight, a champion of the arts has fallen. And in sports news, the Hitmen with a commanding lead over the Commando security truckers as they look to close the series out tomorrow. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Let It, designed for extra miles.
Deciding on which car to buy? Hard. Getting an auto loan? Easy. Negotiating the price? Hard. Getting the money to pay for it? Easy. Get an easy auto loan from Commonwealth Bank. Super low rates, fast 24-hour approval, no loan fee, and no payments for 2 months. So come to Commonwealth Bank, and your next car is easy. Call today.
You can't go
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, you know. I actually wanted to be a doctor, and when I was on my way to med school, I had this called Epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. No, it isn't anything specific. It's just, you know, just enjoying the environment, and that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected family.
Family.
Every day.
Wicked geniuses are not limited by their budget. They eat the foods they crave because they've discovered the KFC Everyday Value menu. Be a wicked genius and enjoy a great everyday value option for as little as $2, $3, or $4, including VAT. Choose from the Colonel's fries, snack wraps, and famous bowls. Or try a one-piece chicken $5 fill-up for just $5, including VAT. Show your genius today at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Sean, what you doing home already? And why you can't do anything I ask you?
Calm down. Everything cool?
Everything always cool, but you're running me hard.
I already do everything on the list.
You pay the light bill and phone bill?
Check.
You get the Bahamas Air ticket for me and check the Sky Bahamas tickets for mommy?
Check.
I know you ain't send that MoneyGram to Junior.
I already do that too.
You second. You ain't never do everything I ask you.
I go on the Cash and Go and do everything right there.
You pick up dinner too?
Cash and Go don't sell chicken yet. Cash and Go, your one-stop shop for bill paying and so many other things.
Home is more than where the heart is. Home is where the children feel safe. A place where family comes first. Come home today with a BOB residential mortgage. Enjoy attractive rates with up to 25 years to repay. Or use the equity in your home to fund home improvements or other worthwhile needs. Isn't it time you came home to a place of your own? Talk with us today. BOB, your bank of solutions.
Hey, miss, this true? Pop the Top is back?
Yes, sir, and bigger and better than ever.
Collect. The Bear of the Bahamas is giving you the chance to win $30,000 and tons of free bear with the 30th anniversary Pop the Top promotion. Here's how you can win free bear or the $30,000 grand prize. Just buy Collect, Pop the Top, and check your caps to see if you've won. Select bars, liquor stores, and all 700 wines and spirits stores are Pop the Top redemption centers where you can present your caps and get your free Collect bear instantly. To win the $30,000 grand prize, collect 6. Enter to win $30,000 caps. Place your caps in a Pop the Top envelope and complete the information requested. Then submit your entry in any Pop the Top drop box, block party, or the Pop the Top bus for your chance to win $30,000. Let's celebrate Bahamian and 30 years of the Bear of the Bahamas. Collect Pop the Top 30th anniversary. Celebrate responsibly.
This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, next year, all public schools are expected to become smart schools equipped with Wi-Fi. But there are questions about the distraction that the internet provides. Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, addressed the issue.
You know, we have now in schools, almost every school, restriction on cell use. Can't bring your cell to school and all that kind of stuff. Oh, no, man. We want you to bring your cell to school after we get this set up. Bring your cell to school. You won't be able to go anywhere except where we want you to go. And you will only have access to the program studies of the day in your respective class. That's it. You're not going to be floating through YouTube and looking at other things. No. You're going to be where we want you to be. The minute you hit in our orbit, and that is campus-wide. No problem.
The Ministry of the Environment, meantime, continuing its campaign to ban single-use plastics by January 1, 2020. It's a multi-pronged approach which acknowledges that plastic which does not break down is filling landfills and oceans. Minister for the Environment, the Honorable Romuald Ferreira, said the global effort to control pollution centers and protect our oceans continues. He announced, meantime, that a town meeting will be held tomorrow with the goal of a clean environment which begins and ends with water.
More molecules of water
in a glass of water than there are glasses of water on this planet. That means we are literally drinking the same water. And so this is about preservation of life itself and respecting the planet. So I can think of no better place to have our second town meeting to increase awareness on single-use plastics and their effects to the planet and our effort to ban them by 2020 than at Bahamas Faith Ministries, which will take place on September 25th at 6 p.m. I want to thank them for the use of their edifice, and I want to encourage all Bahamians to come out. This is a very important initiative, not for ourselves, it's for the children. It's for future generations coming up. And this is a part of our cleanup campaign. We need to control what goes into our landfill.
Well, after the town meeting, the campaign to ban the use of single-use plastics will be ramped up.
The next phase is we're also launching our increased public awareness campaign. So over the ensuing months, Bahamians can expect to see more advertising on social media, on billboards, in the print, on radio, on television, increasing awareness of littering, increasing awareness of having a clean environment.
Labor Director John Pinder addressing the government's jobs program, speaking to a comprehensive plan to ensure that participants of the program are acquiring the knowledge they need to get the job done.
You want to work with the government to ensure that these 52-week program persons are placed in a position where they are training and learning something. For example, if we had to send persons to do welding and learn how to do welding from a Quality Service Limited or even the shipyard, that part of their salary comes from the government through the 52 weeks program, and the rest will come from the employer who they actually performing these tasks for. That's one way of addressing it. I think the Prime Minister mentioned that, but that's something that needs to be implemented. Again, the understudy is the most important thing, where employers are supposed to identify Bahamian to understudy somebody who's on a work permit.
The Free National Movement has issued a statement on the success of Labor on the Blocks this weekend. Chairman Carl Culmer says the Labor on the Blocks initiative has delivered more than 1,200 job opportunities for Bahamians looking for meaningful employment, setting up the simple process of bringing companies and potential employees together. He says it's done more for the Bahamian people in a year than the PLP did in 5 years of governance. He says the FNM believes in leading by example and living up to the commitments made to the people. He pointed out that Labor Minister Dion Folks and his team have proved what serving the people is all about.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling. Officials from the Public Hospital Authority say they are facing financial challenges as they aim to upgrade the country's healthcare facilities and resolve ongoing issues with unionized healthcare professionals. PHA Managing Director Catherine Weish says the $216 million allocated by the government for their budget falls short by $25 million, making it difficult to meet every need. She added, however, that renovations and the purchasing of some new equipment has been successful as they seek to modernize and repair the country's healthcare facilities. In response to protests from environmentalists and Eleuthera residents, Disney Cruise Line President Jeff Vahl says that locals need not be alarmed by the Lighthouse Point project. The company's proposal intends to develop some 20% of the 700-acre privately owned property. Officials also added that the development will include sustainable design and building practices, noting that a potential 120 to 150 permanent jobs will be made available. And in international business news, GoPro is lobbying for a comeback with their new GoPro Hero 7 Black camera. The American tech company took a hard hit earlier this year when stocks dropped after it laid off 20% of its workforce. CEO Nick Woodman says that they are positive that newer products like the Hero 7 Black will be profitable. The camera's improved photo, audio, and most importantly, the new self-stabilization feature, which eliminates the need for gimbals and tripods, has so far seen good market reviews. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling.
Tourism today. Bahamas Tourism today.
The country's top training program is 40 years old this month. And to celebrate, officials at the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation have relaunched Bahama Host through a number of activities and events. Director of Industry Training and Education Ian Ferguson says the refreshment of the program is overdue.
Tourism is a very dynamic sector, ever-changing. And so as the world changes, as the industry changes, then there's also a need to equip, to re-engineer, to think again about what is priority, what is crucial, what is important. And so every 3 years, we ask our participants then to come back for a recertification process.
Throughout the month, the ministry has carried out several activities, including a church service at St. Barnabas Anglican Church, a Leadership Edge workshop, school speaking circuits, and a staff retreat. The month will end with a tourism symposium at Bahama on September 27th, followed by an award ceremony at Government House.
We're looking for everyone to come and to join us as we will hear from the best of the best industry professionals who are practitioners, who are partners. We're going to hear, of course, a keynote from our Director General, as well as some international flavor. Ms. Christy Morris. She is a millennial consultant with the Caribbean Tourism Organization. She is coming to give us our vision presentation for that special event.
Once rebranded, Bahama Host will operate 5 new modules, including Proud to be Bahamian, Tourism Today, the Bahamian Service Experience, Foreign Language Training, and Empowerment. For the Tourism Today Network, I'm Kendia Smith.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits. From Grand Bahama to San Salvador.
Just around the corner when you need us.
For every celebration and relaxation.
Committed to quality and service since 1953.
With renowned wines.
Rums and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits. Always with ice cold beer.
And attractive promotions.
Here for you as we've always been. One name, one people, united in wines and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
My name is Jeff Andrews. I'm a self-employed chartered accountant. Well, I had been listening to all the advertisements for Alive for quite a while and kept saying, I need to make the switch, I need to make the switch. Somebody finally convinced me to do the concierge service and switch over. They came and met with me, they let me know what I needed up front so that the whole process was very painless and took probably less than 20 minutes. I really like that we get regular service, I don't have drop calls or interruptions. The only time I have problems are when there's problems with the other carrier. I find the customer service people are very helpful. I haven't had a need to use them very often, but they check on me on a regular basis and make sure that I'm happy with all the services that I'm receiving. I would and have recommended Alive to lots of other people, including all of my family members. They've all joined Alive and are very happy with the services as well.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian PMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say. With a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
Whether you're renovating your home, furthering your education, or shopping for a new or used vehicle, RBC offers flexible and convenient financing that fits your budget. Apply online or visit your nearest RBC branch for expert advice on how RBC can help you get a flexible, customized loan at a great rate. RBC, reimagine how you bank.
Welcome back. 3 months after being involved in that horrific Labor Day traffic mishap, one survivor is sharing her story and the challenges she's faced over the last several months. Annabelle Gibson spoke of enduring the injuries and the slow, painful recovery process which came along with it. She was speaking during the launch of the Rehabilitative Services Week. Our Jiminita Swain has the story.
I am not angry. I pray every day for the young man, and I pray that he would be healed from this, because I think he would have suffered as much trauma as those of us who would have been in the accident.
Annabelle Gibson was one of several persons injured during that fateful crash on Labor Day. On Monday, she, along with other rehabilitative therapists of the Public Hospitals Authority, were honored during the launch of Rehabilitative Services Week. Herself, a therapist, Gibson talked about her injuries that included a fracture to the upper arm.
I've had the tube, the urethra that runs between the kidney and the bladder, that was fractured as well. I've had a dislocated knee. In other words, the knee should rest like this, but my knees were like that. All right, so they were some of the injuries that I have received, and of course I'm suffering from also an ulnar nerve injury.
Gibson, who is still recovering and remains off from work, reflected on that Labor Day accident.
I was on the streets begging for help, asking people to move me, turn me over, sprinkle some water in my face so I can feel comfortable. And I remember these gentlemen came to me, put me on the stretch, and they were running from ambulance to ambulance. All they were hearing, it's full, it's full. And I remember someone saying, who does that gray van belongs to over there? And they said, road traffic. They say, man, get in there. And I remember them slithering me up on the side, say, move the chairs and put on the side there. I know nothing between that transition from that point of the accident.
Gibson says she thought she was going to die. And while she supports changes to the parade route to make it safer, she holds no ill feelings towards the person responsible for the accident.
I would go along with the changes. Maybe, in days gone by when you would make the little box card and put what you wanted and fellas had to pull it. Well, they don't have to even go way back there, but make something that would not be detrimental to those person or hazardous to those persons who are on the parade and enjoying themselves. I'm a mother of 3 sons, and God forbid I wouldn't want anything like that to happen to them. And if it did, I would want people to feel that same way about me, knowing like this was an accident and it was real tragic, but you don't want to kill him.
And as our road to recovery continues, Gibson applauds the work of rehabilitative specialists. She, along with other professionals, were recognized for their contributions during the ceremony to launch the week's activities under the theme, Rehab, Your Progress is Our Passion. Hospital Administrator Catherine Weish also lauded their efforts and says officials are working to implement improvements to benefit patients.
I assure you, the many challenges you face, particularly those with respect to equipment procurement and maintenance, lack of physical space, and the need to scale up recruitment of rehab professionals are front and center at the highest level of the PHA. In fact, this will become part of our roadmap for improving healthcare delivery within the public sector.
Jiminita Swain, ZNS Network News.
Well, another icon in musical arts has passed away. Audrey Dean Wright, former director of the National Children's Choir, the Seventh-day Adventist Choir, and the University of the Bahamas Choir, and many others, passed away peacefully at her home surrounded by family on Sunday. Vaughn Albury reflects on aspects of her busy life.
Lost a great musical giant.
Audrey Dean Wright poured out her God-given gifts to hundreds of Bahamians involved in the numerous choirs she founded and directed. The lifelong Adventist was a strict disciplinarian who founded the award-winning National Children's Choir with her sister, the late Patricia Bazard. Wright's gift was teaching the children classical and Bahamian music, which earned the choir third place among 80 European choirs in Russia in 2001.
For them to travel, they need to know something about the Bahamas. We make them understand all of the basic information on the Bahamas. We teach them that they need to be proud of who they are. You know, we teach them the music of the Bahamas that we share with others. Talk about our foods, the different kinds of food that we eat, you know. Our ring plays. People love the ring plays. We do the ring plays on some of our trips. So we are preparing them to be children also of the world. Because after some of our children in this choir have traveled to Europe several times, who are still in this choir. And that kind of exposure also let them know where they stand in the scheme of things. If you can go into a foreign country and compete with the best and come out with those on the top, I think that's important to them.
Former Director of Culture, Dr. Nicolette Bethel, said Wright and her sister taught the children lifelong lessons. She added that Wright's death leaves a huge void.
But she was also a composer, and she has written so many pieces of a whole range of types, and she has contributed so much in that regard. And as a choral director.
How was Wright able to balance family life while directing so many choirs?
The grace of God, I think the discipline that she imposed on other people, she imposed on herself, and also the service. It was a service. It was every day it was, I am making my world better.
Indeed, Audrey Dean Wright made the Bahamas a better place. May she rest in peace. I'm Vaughn Albury, ZNS Network News.
Well, stay tuned. There's more news to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
Looking to upgrade your refrigerator stove or purchase an affordable home generator? We've got the perfect solution for you. Alma's Welding and Fire is the best choice for the lowest prices in town. We carry top-of-the-line outdoor barbecue grills, air conditioners, refrigerators, stoves, generators, industrial hardware, and garden supplies with a wide assortment of tools and accessories. Open Monday through Saturday. Telephone 394-0004. BWF. We're more than just our name.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Edie's is back in the Bahamas. Can you say yay? Rich, delicious flavors are coming your way. Made with fresh milk and cream, nothing artificial. Edie's is back. Find it at your favorite food store.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky. Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Little Generals on East Street South is well known for the best quality and lowest prices on all your grocery and houseware needs. Little Generals has a large selection of meats, produce, dairy items, water and juices, all your favorite snacks, housewares, vegan products, gourmet items, and health supplements. Anything you can think of, it's all sold right here at Little Generals. Little Generals also provides the best customer service, making you want to come back again and again. So visit Little Generals today on East Street South. Call 325-5798.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info at lenobahamas.com.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
What if you looked in the mirror and saw something different? A small difference, a big difference. What if that difference changed your life forever? What if it caused you to question your beauty? Your body may change, a small change, a big change, but your life is defined by your interior, not your exterior. I felt, I called, I tested, I acted. I won. I am the cure, a living story of survival. Be the cure. Live the life you love and love the life you live. At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, your life matters.
What do breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus all the snacks in between have in common? Well, they all start with the weekly specials at Super Value and quality supermarkets. First Choice Sugar 4-pound bag, $1.99. Whole chicken wings, $1.59 per pound. Cardinal Cream, large can, 99 cents. Quaker Oats, 18-ounce size, $2.79. Gala apples, 4 for $1. Tofian Bagels, 20-ounce pack, $1.89. Great meals begin at Super Value and quality supermarkets.
All right, it's time now for your first check of weather. We check in with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hey there, Basil.
Hi, Keisha. In our second look at weather, we're going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 82 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Greenville, Key, and Abaco, Marsh, Abaco at 80. 84 degrees in the Berry Islands, Bimini, 82 degrees, 83 in Harbor Island. A little cooler here in the capital, 79 degrees. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 84. 84 also in Otterstown, Canal, Staniel Key in the Exumas, Kemp Space on Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 84s in San Salvador and Rome Key, also Georgetown, Exuma at 84. 84s in Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Ragged Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 83. Ackles, 83. 83 also in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, Vital King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, the winds northeast to east around 10 to 15 knots. Those wave heights are going to be about 2 to 4 feet. High tide, well, that took place at 7:19 this evening. And then in the central Bahamas, southeast winds, also 10 to 15 knots. The wave heights 2 to 4 feet. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flags are up. The wind southeast at 12 to 18 knots. Wave heights 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. And as we take you into Tuesday, tomorrow, southeast winds for the northwestern islands, 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. High tide 7:38 in the morning, low tide at 1:52 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds increasing to 15 to 20 knots. Wave heights 4 to 6 feet over the ocean, and that caution flag will continue. And as we move into Wednesday, easterly winds at 10 to 15, and this is for the northwestern islands, 2 to 4 feet wave heights. High tide 8:16 in the morning, low tide 2:32 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, midweek Wednesday, east to southeast, 15 to 20, wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your trial forecast. And your trial forecast is brought to you by Rawlstar. That's going to do it for your travel forecast brought to you by Royal Star Insurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 18 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Prostate cancer is one of the most common cancers that affect men. The prostate is a small walnut-shaped gland that produces the seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. Prostate cancer usually grows slowly and initially remains confined to the prostate gland, where it may not cause serious harm. While some types of prostate cancer grow slowly and may need minimal or no treatment, other types are aggressive and can spread quickly. Prostate cancer may not cause signs or symptoms in its early stages. Prostate cancer that is more advanced may cause signs and symptoms such as trouble urinating, decreased force in the stream of urine, blood in the semen, general pain in the lower back, hips, or thighs, discomfort in the pelvic area, bone pain, erectile dysfunction. It's best to detect prostate cancer early when it's confined to the prostate. Treatment in these early cases is usually very successful. If you have any of the signs or symptoms of prostate cancer, see your doctor or visit your community clinic as soon as possible. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Don't miss the CBS Bahamas Plumbing and Electrical Sale. There's no better time to replace sinks and faucets or get a new shower head. And it's the perfect time to upgrade your life. Shop now and get 20% off plumbing and electrical supplies at CBS Bahamas Southwest Plaza, Carmichael Road. Sale ends September 30th.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean, banking that fits your life.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We want you to press and clean the super. If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children clothes. That's super wash.
AID features Napa Auto Parts which meet or exceed OE specifications. Parts for Asian vehicles are available at great prices. Filters from $2, brakes from $22, tie rod ends from $21, head gaskets from $10, and fuel pumps from $32. AID is also your destination for the best selection of automotive accessories. Hubcap sets from $22.45, steering wheel covers from $4.50, car mat sets from $8.45, and seat covers from $34.44. Wipers, wash and wax products, motor oils, and automotive chemicals for every vehicle. Angle grinders from $44.53, pressure washers from $162. For the month of September, Napa sensors and electrical parts are 15% off at all AID locations. AID is now open Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. AID, Blue Hill Road and Wolf Road have all you really need and more.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Softball Association's Best of 7 championships back on the diamond over the weekend. In men's play, Al Claude Forbes once again doing it on the mound and at the plate for the defending champion CNS Hitmen. Forbes hit a big solo home run to put away Game 4, and the Hitmen now hold a commanding 3-1 lead on the Commando Security Truckers as they look to close the series out tomorrow night.
The deeper you go, the more pitches you see, the better you get. At no point you should give up until the fat lady sing. And I went up there with a mindset that I only need to see one pitch. And we only hit one pitch. And so I get a pitch, and I do what I'm supposed to do.
When you have two great pitchers on the mound, whoever made the mistake is going to lose.
3 runs is a lot of runs in fast pitch. We don't need any more. You know, that's why you try to be the best that you could be on the mound in order to secure them.
We got Jane and Thomas. Both of those pitchers been holding this team for the championship. You know, so it makes no difference which one play. It's the people behind them would have to play.
Game plan is to try and discourage them. Truckers is a team very pesky, team that don't give up, and so we came out here tonight with a game plan to don't give them no runs and try to discourage them. So when they return here on Tuesday, their attitude will be just a little different. And no looking back. Get the champagnes on ice. We're getting ready to pop them.
The situation much the same on the ladies' side. The Johnson Truckers also in a must-win situation come tomorrow night after the defending champion Sunshine Auto Wildcats took Game 4 on Saturday to claim a 3-1 series lead.
Never back a cat up against the wall. I told you the container, the lumber is here. I only opened half of the door. Nobody out here could beat the Cats. Nobody. Be ready. You ain't seen nothing yet.
2 matches on court yesterday in the New Providence Volleyball Association. Up first in ladies play, the Johnson Truckers downing the University of the Bahamas Mingos in 3 sets, 25-9, 25-13, and 25-20. As for the men, the Warhawks and Technicians needed 5 sets to determine a winner. In the end, it would be the Technicians coming from 2 sets down to pull it off, 22-25, 23-25, 25-20, 27-25, and 15-9. The Bahamas has yet to be represented in a team sport at the Olympic Games. Hopefully one day that will happen. And President of the Bahamas Olympic Committee, Romel Fish-Knowles, tells us what it's going to take.
We need the finances to start with because team sports need to travel to get together, to get their chemistry together. And they need to play more international tournaments. That has been some of the drawback, along with the fact that a lot of our kids are off to college. So getting them released from their college or their professional careers has also been a challenge in terms of insurance for the national team. I think if we can get over those hurdles, in basketball, we most definitely have the talent. Volleyball is on the verge. Baseball is definitely there as well. But it's going to take some financing to get these things done.
The BOC president also commented on the big sports story that broke last week, that of course being pro basketball player Jonquel Jones now suiting up to play on the Bosnian national team.
Very difficult, first of all, for an athlete to compete at the Olympic Games. When you look at the size of the population, the global population, and 10,000 athletes compete, making the Olympic Games and competing in the Olympic Games is quite an honor, quite a prestige. And then Jonquel plays being a professional athlete. Obviously, she wanted to compete at the highest level. It's good for a resume. It's good for personal achievement. And so perhaps part of the decision was, how do I get to compete at the Olympic Games? At home, we're not quite ready just yet. I'm still a Bahamian at heart, but as a professional, I have to do some things while I'm still young and healthy to be able to accomplish them.
NBA training camps open this week. Buddy Hield and the Sacramento Kings holding Media Day today with camp opening tomorrow. The same goes for the #1 pick in this year's draft, DeAndre Ayton and the Phoenix Suns.
There's a lot of big dudes, a lot of great shooters like Ryan Anderson, Dragon Bender. I mean, those guys, they were born with a jump shot, you know, and, you know, I got to be down low. I got to be the main guy. I haven't put the ball in the hoop. So the only thing I can do is probably just let my game talk, you know, just compete. It's a lot of work. These dudes take this stuff serious, and, you know, I'm all in. I text Steve Nash a few times, and, you know, he's always just giving me, every time I text him, just the biggest advice ever. You know, it's in the big paragraphs, but, you know, I sit down and read it.
From tennis, Kevin Major Jr. playing in California at the Los Cabos Men's Futures Tournament. He won his first 2 qualifying matches, 6-1 and 2 over Skylar Bettis from Austria and 6-4, 7-6 over American Diego Nava. One more win and Major will advance to the main draw. The Pan American Bowling Federation's Women's Championships will roll off tomorrow in the Dominican Republic, with all 6 members of Team Bahamas and the coach associated with teams in the City Bowling League. Play there is suspended this week. After just 1 week of play, Driscoll already has a target on her back, having the best performance so far.
Maybe some rust for some, or and it's a strategy as well. Some may not want to come out with a high average on the first night. For me, it didn't matter. I know the season will take care of my average. It will normalize over the whole season. So I just went out there, said, you know what, just roll the ball, relax, execute, feel the shot off my hand, and just bowl. My team is sure win pocket pleasers. We're 1 and 2. You cannot build the season on just how you open the first night. So I expect the top teams as previous years to rise to the top. Even though they may have had a 1-2 start or 0-3 start, the top players and the teams always rise to the top.
Archery continuing to push forward here in the 242, and an offer is currently on the table for a group of Bahamians to attend a training camp in Chula Vista, California.
That's where the U.S. Olympic team trains, and there'll be archers from all over the world there. That's a very good opportunity for us. So we're hoping to make these things. Now, obviously, that's a lot of traveling and that's a lot of expense. So we're hoping that Corporate Bahamas and the Ministries of Sports and Bahamas Olympic Committee will continue to support us so that we can put forward our best foot.
With the elections now behind them, the Bahamas Cycling Federation pushing ahead with their agenda. Returning President Roy Colebrook spoke about some of their goals moving forward.
The immediate goals in this term now is for us to focus more on our junior cyclists coming up in terms of for now world championships and different games like that. We think it's important for our cyclists now to move to the different steps. And so there's no barriers now per se, and so we're moving straight on through. World Championships, the major games, and what it is, we have to be more now results-oriented.
The 43rd Chess Olympiad getting underway today in the Republic of Georgia. Team Bahamas taking part in both the women's and open divisions. Our women's team of World Candidate Master Deja Johnson, Trinity Pinder, Antoinette Seymour, and Juliet Storr was shut out against Iceland. The open team of FIDE Master Cecil Monker, World Candidate Master Carolina Polina, Chappelle Williams, and Francis Skinner also failing to secure a point against Myanmar. The women's team plays again tomorrow against Panama. The open team, they'll take on the United Arab Emirates. Erica Seymour, also a part of that women's squad. The 5th member of the open team is National Master Byron Small. And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Life happens, and when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance Agents and Brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today, or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
You see me? I love online shopping. And when I heard of Welty.com, I said, wow, what do they have to offer?
Welty.com provides me with everything I need. Like hair, perfumes, furniture for my mom, anything I can think of.
Visit Welty.com today for all your favorite products, like hair, clothes, fragrances, and furniture. You can see the overall cost, layaway, and pay the remaining balance later.
Huh? Welty.com? Duh.
Welty.com. Make life easy.
G&M Appliances on Robinson Road has all your air conditioning needs this summer, like the Comfort Star 9,000 and 12,000 BTU 13 SEER for just $399. Or how about the Comfort Star 18,000 BTU just $599? Or how about the Comfort Star 24,000 or 36,000 at the lowest prices possible? We also carry a large selection of air conditioning parts, such as fans, compressors, filters, capacitors, or any part you may need.
So, call today at 328-2083. We're located on Robinson Road.
Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day.
BTC has always been your business solution partner, and on tonight's Connection, we demonstrate how our long-standing partnership with another industry giant, Avaya, is helping to enhance business for our customers.
Avaya is a unified communications and contact center organization. We're number 1 or 2 in the world in all of these spaces, so we're really here to help customers solve their business challenges and help them communicate more efficiently, both internally and externally out there. Yeah, we're really excited. We're going to be talking about transforming your business into experiences and how you can take technology to take your business to the next level, because the world's really evolving and customers are looking for new and unique ways to communicate. Those that are already in the workplace, we're trying to figure out how to take these apps and these cell phones and these tablets and integrate them in our day-to-day. So we're going to talk about how we can leverage different technologies to make your business that much better in communicating.
Avaya has been a great partner over the years in providing solutions, business solutions to our customers. And what they've done is they've reinvented themselves.
Avaya has been an excellent partner. They have an excellent product line. So we are always fully engaged with them to make sure that we're bringing, that BTC brings the latest technology.
BTC Business is proud and excited to offer this new solution for its business customers. It's called My Office Solution, and call one of our experts today at 302-7700. I'm Corval Pyfrom, and we'll see you next BTC Connection.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day.
We are Machinery and Energy Limited, your cat dealer for the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the Cayman Islands. We also carry a selection of allied brands like JLG, Wacker Neuson, and Solaire. Our extensive product line includes tractors, excavators, backhoe loaders, telehandlers, forklifts, light towers, aerial equipment, marine engines, and of course, our specialty cat generator sets. Need parts or equipment maintenance? We offer that too. Everything you need all in one place. Visit one of our branches in Nassau, Freeport, or Abaco for your construction and power generation needs.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, Kirk is now just an open wave approaching the Windward Islands, but we can anticipate some regeneration as it approaches. But once it gets into the Caribbean Sea, it will encounter some hostile atmospheric conditions. So not much going to be happening with the remnants of Kirk. And then we have Leslie, which is still a tropical storm out there in the mid-Atlantic. It's packing winds of about 40 miles per hour, now drifting towards the east at about 6 miles per hour. And we expect it to take a more turn towards the east-northeast and eventually northeast over the next couple of days. So it will remain over the open waters of the Atlantic, generating some light to moderate swells, which will be impacting some of the more easterly islands of the Bahamas over the next couple of days. And our satellite pictures showing another area of low pressure just to the northeast of the Bahamas with a trailing trough across the northwest Bahamas. That trough fired up some heavy showers and thunderstorms over portions of the Providence today. It's now lifting a bit towards the north, so we should get a little break in those heavy showers tonight and tomorrow. Partly cloudy with a few more showers still lingering around in the forecast, in particularly near that trough. 79 degrees for your low temperature. And tomorrow it's going to be partly sunny, hot again with pop-up showers, even an isolated thunderstorm very likely, with your high temperature around 90 degrees. The extended weather forecast pretty much okay, except for an isolated shower or two tomorrow. A bit more scattered on Wednesday and Thursday, then drying out as we head into the weekend. So it looks as though we're going to have another lovely weekend as we did this past weekend. So if you have any outdoor activities, it seems as though it is a go from this point.
Kirk and Leslie, we're keeping an eye on.
Still keep an eye on it. Not much for Kirk. It seems as though it's going to undergo some changes over the next several days, but not getting up anywhere beyond tropical storm status.
I just wish Keishla could be on the lineup just once. And Johnny would be a strong contender, too.
Well, at the next hurricane meeting, we'll see if we can work those names.
Appreciate that, Basil. That does it for us in the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks so much for looking in. Good night, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This program is made possible by the sponsorship of BTC and Commonwealth